This video I'm going to answer the question, am I against Jackie Chan? Now, with every human being in this world, there's positives and negatives. And when you become famous and you're known worldwide, more people are watching your every step, your every decision, and basically you have the power in your hands to make a greater influence in society. So based on that criteria, there's certain things that I disagree with Jackie Chan's expression, and certain things that I do compliment him for and give him credit for. So one main thing that I give him credit for is that even though, first of all, I want to make it straight, Jackie Chan is not a real martial artist. He's not. He's a stuntman, he's a performer, he's an entertainer that's posing as a martial artist. He's not a martial artist. He has kung fu, meaning he's good at what he does, but he's not a martial artist. He pretty much is one of the primary individuals that came up with a new way of expression that's not what we now call parkour. So basically he came up with that before parkour even existed. So basically that was his expression. So imagine a person that specializes in parkour claiming that he's a martial artist. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Martial arts is different than parkour. So that's pretty much what he is. He's a stuntman. He's like an acrobatic athlete. He's a performer. He's like a circus. He's like a circus clown or whatever the hell. Alright, so he's not a real martial artist. Now, but people think that he's a martial artist, but what I give him credit for at the very least is that at least he's not doing competition fighting. He's not promoting that. You know, at least he's not like in the cage acting stupid, beating people up. Alright, if you see him in his interviews, you see him in his movies, his general personality and character is that he's a nice guy, and that he's just a really nice guy. You know, just somebody that you can't even imagine him getting upset. He's just somebody that's just nice and smiles a lot and makes you laugh. Okay, he's not serious. Alright, so with that being said, what are the negatives? Well, somebody brought, Todai Ryan brought this up. You know, he's an ugly guy, and you know he is an ugly guy. Big old nose, ugly ass dude. And usually what do ugly people have to do to get attention? You know, they usually have to, they're not sex symbols. You know, they're gonna be people that get laughed at, and they're gonna make a lot of money from getting laughed at. So you got some of these people out in in comedy, like that guy from Seinfeld, for example, that little short fat guy, for example. Ugly ass dude, but he's rich as hell because he makes people laugh. So typically when you're an ugly ass guy, you're gonna find other ways to make money, and that's what he did. He decided, I'm so ugly that I'm not gonna make money being a sex symbol or anything like that, or a real martial artist. There's no way I'm a real martial artist. I'm a freaking goofball. I'm an ugly ass dude. So how am I gonna make money? So I'll just let people laugh at me. So basically, on a personal end, that's fine. On a personal level, if you want to get people to laugh at you and you get a lot of money for that, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, because he's Chinese, and because his movies, some of his movies make it over to America, it molds the perception of the audience of the America. It molds the perception of what a Chinese person is, because they see him and they'll judge him and feel that that's how Chinese people are. So if he would have stayed in China with all his movies and they don't really get mass produced in America, that's different. Like Drunken Master, some silly ass shit that's just poking fun at martial arts, and just like, it's a fucking joke. It's a fucking comedy, like comedy bullshit making fun of martial arts. And but it's a Chinese film, and it's in Cantonese, and if it just stays in China and really not that many people know about it in America, just a few people, then, you know, like a Chinese person laughing at himself, laughing at other Chinese people in the movie, that's different. But when you got a white audience watching that movie and then they're like laughing at the Chinese guy, it could in a way almost promote racism, because, you know, in a way that movie's like making people look down on the Chinese. You know, it's just a goofy ass bullshit movie that really destroys the reputation of martial arts. Like, MMA destroys the reputation of martial arts in a violent way. Drunken Master destroys the reputation of martial arts in a fucking silly ass way. Just kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles destroys the reputation of the real ninjas. You know what I'm saying? And all this samurai bullshit, you know, making fun of the samurai destroys the reputation of the samurai. You know, so it's just like that's what I'm on him for. And just basically his expression, he just lets people, you know, bully him, you know. And the main thing that I'm speaking about is the Rush Hour movies, where Chris Tucker is just like, you know, just basically putting down his race like right in front of him. And this is like a movie that's grossed millions of dollars, that's been broadcasted worldwide, all over the world, and millions of people have seen the movie. Basically Chris Tucker's just bashing on his race right in front of Jackie Chan. He didn't do nothing about it. Basically that's signifying to the public that it's okay to talk shit to the Chinese because they ain't gonna do shit. You know, and basically he didn't stand up for his own race, and basically he's just teaching people, teaching the population out there that it's okay to bash on the Chinese because ain't nothing gonna happen. You know, like Bruce Lee wouldn't allow that to happen. He wouldn't let his race be put down on film. He made sure that didn't happen. You know, he fought for equal treatment and respect, but Jackie Chan doesn't do that. So that's what I'm coming down on him for. On an individual level, I'm sure he's a good guy. He's you know, he's a nice guy. And just basically he's just doing what he wants to do for money. But as far as a leader is concerned, and basically somebody that is supposed to be an inspiration for people, he is not a good leader. He's not an inspiration. He's pretty much a sellout. You know, somebody that just does what he had to do for the money, and he's not thinking about his people as far as how they're going to be represented overseas. You know, if he's going to make fun of his own race in his own country, that's one thing. But if he's going to allow Westerners to poke fun at his race, he's stepping into territory that's very delicate. You know, and he doesn't know how to handle that. And I don't even think he realizes what happened. Because if he's living in China or he's just around Chinese people all the time, he doesn't give a fuck about what America thinks about him or about Chinese, as long as he's making a lot of money. I mean, if he's making like $30 million from one movie, that's what he's going to be focusing on. He's not going to be focused on, oh, whether or not I'm going to be disgracing the Chinese. You know, and Bruce wasn't like that. Bruce was not just about the money. He's like, you know what, I got to do the right thing. You know, it's not just all about the money. You know, but Jackie Chan's more like, hey, you know, I'll just let people laugh, make people laugh. He thinks that just as long as people laugh, then that's good. But it's not always good, because if you're making people laugh because they're making fun of your race, you're pretty much just promoted racism. You know what I'm saying? And I don't support that. And I speak against racism. I speak against the MMA. I speak against violence. And Jackie Chan might be a peaceful person. He might be somebody that likes to make people laugh. And he may not be a racist himself, but he just maybe just making certain decisions that are not being represented by, well, he's not representing his entire race and culture in a positive and respectful way, and that's one of the main reasons why I speak against him. But he's not all negative, as I stated. There's positive as well.